Greetings fellow Vita fans, this is James with PS Vita at 2 AM, coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. Gonna be serious here for a moment if I may. As we all know, there is a particular crisis that is affecting the entire world these days. A certain illness, mind you. I can't exactly say what that is because for some weird reason YouTube doesn't like it when creators mention what the actual disease is unless you're like a news channel. So I'm gonna refrain from mentioning it, but I'm pretty sure we all know what it is at this point. Thoughts and prayers to all of you and your families during these hard times. Make sure you take all the necessary precautions, guys. Wash your hands as much as you can. Stay at home as much as you can. This way we can do our own part from preventing it from spreading even more. Now keeping that in mind, at this point many of us are staying at home these days. And if you're a PlayStation Vita fan, you're probably going to be spending a good amount of time with it. And thus, people in the comment section were asking me, why don't you do a video about some good hearty PlayStation Vita games that we could enjoy while we're all staying at home? And you know, becoming hermits. Basically my everyday life. And titles that have plenty of hours of gameplay to it. So, with that out of the way, here are some great PlayStation Vita games that will keep you occupied during these times. On our dinner plate first is Dragon's Crown. One of the best, if not the best, brawlers on the PlayStation Vita, and I would even go as far to say of all time. I love it that much. Then again, I deal with a lot of anger issues, so beating people up kind of makes me feel better. Dragon's Crown is a multiplayer hack and slash beat 'em up with breathtaking visual style, a design built around cooperative gameplay and epic boss fights, and the ability to discover new adventures in every play session. And I should mention that not only can you play this game online, but once you beat the main storyline, you unlock like this endless dungeon mode that has Diablo-style loot drops. Needless to say, you're going to be putting a ton of hours into a game like this. And if you can get past the somewhat, interesting character proportion and design, or like in my case, getting distracted by it, then you're in for one frolicking good time. Hark! What's that I hear? Methinks it's a shmup. Alright, I know what everybody's thinking at this point. A shmup being a hearty game that will pass many hours of the time? What madness is this? But just hear me out 1 second here, guys. I'm not as crazy as you might think. Well, okay, not really. Dariusburst Chronicles Saviors is one of the latest installments in Taito's Darius series of arcade-style shooting games. Blast hordes of alien sea monsters and blaze your own trail through branching environments. The reason why I wanted to recommend this game for this segment, not just because this game is like totally awesome and makes me want to eat at Red Lobster, but also due to the fact that, believe it or not, this game has a ton of stages, or should I say in this case, branching paths. You may have noticed that as I was reading the description. You did, right? Because I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention. True, while you do have a handful of levels here, the game's level map goes in all sorts of different ways, combining different levels with each other, as well as adding different scenarios and conditions to each level. Put them all together and this game has close to 3,000 different unique branching paths. Topping the cherry on top of our sundae, of course, to the fact that this game also comes with its full-fledged arcade mode, with even a few online features to boot, such as leaderboards and this weird kind of feature that matches you with different arcade cabinets and then lets you kind of track your hide score online. Kind of weird, I know. Not to mention multiple ships to unlock. Putting all those together, and this is a game that pretty much just doesn't end. Okay, I think it's time we talked about our next title, Secret of Mana, the remake. Originally released in 1993, Secret of Mana is by far the most popular title in the Mana series, or Mana depending on your preference.
It's Mana, James.
Now it finally got a long-awaited full 3D remake. The game faithfully retells the beloved story with adopting modern 3D graphics and controls, and features a newly arranged musical score, voiced characters, and new content. Now if you're new to the Mana series, yes, I'm going to be saying it both ways just to try and appeal to both demographics, then just know that the best way I can summarize this game is think of it as a unofficial love child of both the Final Fantasy series and Chrono Trigger. Because while the gameplay does take place in real time and is thus not turn-based, you still have to build up your strength meter in order to attack the enemies at full power, still giving it a little bit more of a tactical feel to it. So I feel it mixes the best of both worlds regarding those two genres. So what are you waiting for? Pick up Secret of Mana today!
It's Mana, James.
Alright, the next game on my list is technically the shortest out of all of my picks today, and I know that might sound a little weird to you guys, but in hindsight, it can technically be the longest too, depending on your skill level. And you know my skill level. This be Sultan Sanctuary. And let's just address the elephant in the room. Yes, it's a 2D Dark Souls. But calling this a ripoff is not giving the game its full credit, because it certainly has the ability to stand up on its own 2 feet. Explore a haunting, punishing island in this stylized 2D action RPG. Sultan Sanctuary combines fast and brutal 2D combat with richly developed RPG mechanics in a cursed realm of forgotten cities, blood-soaked dungeons, and deserted monuments. And of course, if you have played Dark Souls, you can pretty much put that frame of mind into this game. You have equipment, you level up that equipment. Some equipment is faster, some is slower, some is stronger, some is weaker, some is, you get the idea. And trust me when I say it certainly has the difficulty of Dark Souls. Oh, brother. Also, I just happened to notice that this game is rated M for mature for partial nudity. I didn't see any buttocks in my gameplay. But anyway, yeah, Sultan Sanctuary, it's awesome. My next choice goes to, I know I hate to say it myself, but Persona 4 Golden. I know, it's the bare bone obvious answer, and I usually try to choose games that are a little bit more on the obscure side, in case some people may not know about them, but I gotta give credit where credit is due here. Persona 4 Golden is a hearty game that you can plunge hours and hours into with no regret whatsoever, other than the fact that the main protagonist gets way more booty than the rest of us do in real life.
Speak for yourself.
And what can I really say about Persona 4 Golden that hasn't already been stated many times by other YouTubers? If you love turn-based RPGs, rich storylines, fantastic soundtracks, lots of side missions, characters to bond with, including waifus. And fun fact, this game single-handedly started the waifu wars. We lost a lot of good people during the waifu wars. And now for a game that is not Persona 4 Golden, Tokyo Xanadu. And if you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you know how much I love this game. One of my favorites on the PlayStation Vita, especially since it does have a lot of features that Persona 4 Golden does, so I thought it would be good to recommend it. And it's a title that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, so I thought I would, discuss it with you guys or something. Tokyo Xanadu is a massive action RPG from the masters of the genre, Falcom. When high school student Kyo Tokisaka encounters the nightmare realm known as the Eclipse, his world is forever changed. Unlike Persona 4 Golden though, you are in full control of your character. This is more of a hack and slash RPG dungeon crawler with huge bosses and really unique enemy designs. And of course you have social link style events that take place outside of the dungeons as well. Doesn't give you any options though to date any of the actual waifus though, so 0 out of 10 for me right there. While I would call this probably a Persona 4 Golden Light, it's still a fantastic experience that deserves far more attention than it gets. So if you played the heck out of Persona 4 Golden, then you might want to move on to Tokyo Xanadu, because sometimes it's all you can do. I don't know. And guys, that concludes my list of the top Vita games that you can enjoy during these hard times while we're all staying at home. I tried to choose games that had a good amount of hours built into them. Now, of course, the PlayStation Vita has tons and tons of JRPGs, so I can't list them all in one video. This is literally only the tip of the iceberg. But I would like to hear your recommendations. These were mine. What are yours? And I'm sure a lot of people in the comment section would love to hear your opinions as well. We can all kind of get ideas from one another. So post them down below. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. The following video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Hero Acer, Adam Sondi, Dennis R. Huggins Jr., Richard Cruz, Buzz Sayin, Jelle, Mario Cruz, Larry Anderson, BMF, Ruben Gutierrez, Joshua Williams, Jared Haddo, Kevin Enright, Heston Joseph, Aaron Swanson, Rodrigo Vera, Phantom XRS, Saul Ramirez, Kyle Brooks, JR, E-Rock, Pierce Sterner, Adam Theory, Skulshur Tugul TCG, David Ray, Gutter Drums, Matt Fox, Jace Bellerin, Reiko Star, and Neo Arashi. If you would be interested in supporting the channel, check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do so down there. And I pretty much spit all over this computer saying that last line.